Hey there and welcome back to Geek Cheese. My name's Kelly and I'm back with The Sims 4 doing a voiceover for the first time, so hopefully it goes okay. And I'm also in cast doing something a little bit different. I decided to do a celebrity classic Hollywood series, so I'm going to be making all classic Hollywood actresses. And if people like it, or if people suggest, I can actually do a male version of some male classic actors. And I'm starting with Audrey Hepburn because I love Audrey Hepburn myself. But I know a lot of other people love Audrey, and she's pretty well known, she's popular, and most people know what she looks like. And I thought she'd be fun to do. There's certain parts in the video where I pause, like I just did, because I was looking at pictures of her. I know what she looks like, but I've tried to get it as close as possible. Um, I know in most pictures her hair's black, looks black anyway, but I think, judging by what I saw in like some more colored photos, um, it's more of like a brown, dark brown, and I know at some point she started like highlighting it, with like blondish, brownish highlights. She actually has her hair like that in Breakfast at Tiffany's, um, which is one of my favorite movies. Love Breakfast at Tiffany's, it's such a classic. I also love, what other movies do I love? My Fair Lady. I love My Fair Lady. It's a musical. I know some people don't like musicals, but that one is so good. And Rex Harrison's in it, which made it even better because he's so good in it. And I don't think she's actually singing in that movie, but it's good nonetheless. It's such a good movie. What other movies do I like of hers? My Fair Lady, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Roman Holiday. Roman Holiday, I think, is my all-time favorite Audrey Hepburn movie. I think it's the first one I've ever seen with her in it. I think Gregory Peck's in it. It's a little bit of a cliche story. I mean, it's like this princess that runs away because she's like bored with life. God forbid, you know. I think if I was a princess, I don't know if I'd get. Maybe I would get bored. I don't know. I don't think so though. But she gets bored and she like runs off to be in town, and she ends up going on a Roman holiday with Gregory Peck. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that, you know? And so it's a romantic movie, but it's also a little bit bittersweet. I'm not gonna give too much away, but it's really good. I highly recommend watching it. It's called Roman Holiday. It's made in 1950 something. I want to say like 1950. Maybe it wasn't made in 19. I think it was one of her first movies in the U.S. because she's actually from Belgium. And I don't know if she was in foreign movies or not, but she was definitely from Belgium. And Audrey grew up during World War II, and she didn't eat a lot. Her family, I don't know exactly what happened to her family during that time, but I know that she starved a lot and they had to eat flowers and like, grass, and like they pretty much ate whatever they could get their hands on because of the war and everything. Um, Actually, I'm gonna look that up so I can find out a little bit more and maybe tell you guys because it's actually kind of interesting. Um, Let me see. Oh, this is interesting. Here, this pretty much describes her pretty well. In contrast to the sex goddesses of the silver screen, Audrey Hepburn had a more wholesome beauty and an aura of innocence and class about her, which gained her many devoted fans. And I think that's pretty much why everyone loves Audrey Hepburn. Um, that's why she's one of my favorites. She's just very classy. She's like the classiest, and that's why I love her so much. And she had great fashion sense. I mean, a lot of them didn't. I mean, I couldn't see myself wearing what they were wearing a lot of times. And I like looking at pictures and stuff like that. And, I'm not saying they didn't look pretty or like their clothing weren't nice. I mean, they had beautiful clothing back then. But her style was just very like modern and classy, and it never like went out of style, you know what I mean? And, well, I was looking up her. Yeah, let's see what it says. I don't know what happened to her family. Here's some trivia about Audrey Hepburn. She was the first choice for the lead in A Taste of Honey. I never heard of that movie, to be honest. She's ranked number 50 in Empire magazine's the top 100 movie stars of all time. That's well deserved. Um, she had a son. Chosen by People magazine as one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world. Yep, that's a definite. She should have got number one. Um, oh, Wait Until Dark is a good movie of hers as well. I don't think I've seen the whole thing, but it's very spooky strange. It's good. She turned down the film Gigi after creating the character in the Broadway non-musical play. That's interesting. I don't know if I could have seen her in Gigi. I don't know about that. She had a breed of tulip named after her in 1990. That sounds about right. She died on January 20th, 1993. And I do know, I believe she had colon cancer actually. I'll find out for sure, but I'm pretty sure she died of colon cancer. Um, she won the 1953 Best Actress Academy Award for Roman Holiday. Oh, this is funny. On March 25th, 1954, she accepted the award from the much revered Academy President Jean Hersholt. After accepting the award, Audrey kissed him smack on the mouth instead of the cheek because she was so excited. Minutes after accepting her 1953 Oscar, Audrey realized that she'd misplaced it. Turning quickly on the steps of the Center Theater of New York, she raced back to the ladies' room, retrieved the award, and was ready to pose for photographs. Oh, Audrey, she's so amazing. That's funny. That's like everyone though. Like who, like that's that's just like something that I would do. Like something totally embarrassing. Oh, this is more. See, Audrey's life was very interesting. Good thing I chose her to do first. Her mother, her mother was apparently a baroness. She I can't speak. Temporarily changed her name from Audrey to Etta during the war, feeling that Audrey might indicate her British roots too strongly. And the Netherlands were occupied by the Germans, so they were in dangerous territory during the war. And she was fluent in English, Dutch, Spanish, French, and Italian. That's amazing. She was raised bilingually, speaking English and Dutch. That's why she had that unique accent. She had a very, like, it's kind of a strange accent, but it was really beautiful. Um, that's interesting. But see, that's why. Okay, see, yeah, that's why she was a. Later in life, she was a humanitarian and she traveled and visited poor countries and children and stuff. She was just an amazing person, and she, she was able to use all those languages in order to communicate with people throughout the world. Um, so that's pretty amazing. She was considered briefly for the main role in Cleopatra, which of course went to Elizabeth Taylor. That I knew. I'd never seen that movie, but Elizabeth Taylor was in that one. She confessed to eating tulip bulbs and tried to bake grass into bread during the hard days of World War II. Yeah, that's what I heard. I forget where I saw that. I think I saw it in an interview. Um, I forget. I think someone asked her or something like how. I forget. I don't remember if someone actually asked her why she was so skinny or how she kept the weight off. I don't know. I don't remember the interview question, but I remember she said something about how they were very. They had no food during World War II. And now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if that had something to do with her digestive issues and like colon cancer and everything. That's kind of sad. This is interesting too. In 1990, on the TV show Reflections on the TV screen, when asked about the long-standing rumor that she felt that she was miscast in one of her most popular roles as Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Oh, okay, here's this what she said. She said, "No, that is quite wrong. I had no misgivings about Breakfast at Tiffany's. Some people had, but not me. I don't think Truman Capote, who wrote the wrote the book, I believe, thought I was right for the part. And some people thought it was a different era, that it was a bit daring to play a call girl." She was a trained dental assistant. She was a trained dental assistant before making it big in Hollywood. Girl, a dental assistant? Moon River was written for her. No one else had ever understood it so completely. Yeah, I would have. That's pretty right on. She turned down the role in the film The Diary of Anne Frank because as a young girl in the Netherlands during the war, she had witnessed Nazi soldiers publicly executing people in the streets and herding Jews onto railroad cars to be sent to the death camps. She said that participating in a film would bring back too many painful memories for her. Years later, in 1990, during her humanitarian career, she accompanied composer Michael Someone Thomas and the New World Symphony Orchestra to narrate portions of Frank's diary for a symphonic work he had written. Wow. Proceeds from all the concerts benefit UNICEF. Yeah, I think that's who she worked with back in the day. Like Humphrey Bogart, who's also one of my favorites, Hepburn also starred in 5 of the movies listed by American Film Institute in the top 100 U.S. love stories. Interesting. Told People magazine that she was very self-conscious about her size, 10 feet. I think she was tall. I think. Her eyes were a bit of a mystery. So I messed around with her eyes for like a while, and eventually I chose a different color, which you'll see at the end. But I thought she had brown eyes, but she apparently has hazel eyes. So I wanted to make it right. I didn't want to do brown eyes. And I forget which ones exactly I chose, but excuse me. I forget which ones I chose. But I think those are actually the ones I ended up. I don't remember. Um, but at the end I fixed it. I always thought she had brown eyes, but apparently not. I was kind of disappointed when I found that out, to be honest, because I always loved her so much because she had brown hair and I thought she had brown eyes, and I'm like, oh well, I do too. You know, because everyone loves like blue eyes and gray eyes and green eyes, you know. Which, don't get me wrong, those are gorgeous. But, you know, it'd be nice to have an actress who's beautiful with brown eyes and is as popular as Audrey Hepburn, you know. But I guess that's not the case. Um, ooh, she owned a Yorkshire Terrier called Mr. Famous. That's just darling. That is so cute. Her biggest film regret was not getting the Anne Bancroft role in The Turning Point. That's random. As of 2005, she is one of the only 9 performers to win an Oscar, a Tony, an Emmy, and a Grammy Award. I'm pretty sure someone already has done that since then. According to her biography, Audrey Hepburn, an intimate portrait, which I never read, she made a vow to herself never to exceed 103 pounds. With the exception of her pregnancy, she succeeded. That's pretty thin. How tall was she? She was 5'7". That's pretty thin. If you're 5'7", you should probably weigh at least, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say because I'm really not sure, but I think 103 is a little bit thin. But I think from all the trauma that she had with the war and everything, and food and everything, I think she kind of developed a little bit of a neurosis from it. And I don't remember if I said this, but the outfit that I chose for her was inspired by Funny Face, where she wears like that whole black getup. Okay, so apparently I was wrong. She didn't die of colon cancer. She died of appendiceal cancer? I guess that's cancer of the appendix? The cancer spread into the lining of her small intestine. She had 1 foot of intestine removed in surgery and went through chemotherapy, but in the second surgery it was decided that the cancer had spread too far and could not be treated. Her son believes it had probably been developing over the course of the previous 5 years. That's sad. She lived in Switzerland later in life. She was voted most beautiful woman of all time by the readers of New Woman magazine. Saved the life of her friend Capucine? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, who attempted suicide on several occasions. That's beautiful. Was friends with Eva Gabor? That's interesting. I think Eva Gabor was in Green Acres, if anyone ever watched Green Acres. I watched a lot of old movies and old TV shows growing up. Was a close friend of Gregory Peck, who she was in Roman Holiday with. Was a 3-pack-a-day smoker. That's not good. Returned to work 9 months after giving birth to her son, in order to begin filming Breakfast at Tiffany's. Interesting. Well, that was very interesting. What you learn looking at Wikipedia. I admit, though, I've looked at this before. I've probably looked at this millions of times throughout the years. Um, so this is my Audrey Hepburn. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I guess I can put this on the gallery. I think that's possible to do. So I can try doing that if anyone's interested. I also picked some aspirations for her. I think I picked books, romance. I think I picked family for her because I think she really adored her family and her children, I think, from, what I know. Um, so I just picked some things for her, and that's Audrey Hepburn, and I will be back with more actresses, and if you have any suggestions, let me know, subscribe, and like this video if you liked it, and see you later.